As a believer and a Christian who also happens to have a disability, there is one recurring question that a lot of people do tend to ask me. Do I believe in miracles and divine healing? Or generally what my thoughts are surrounding that topic. Before we dig deeper into this issue, there are a few disclaimers that I'd like to put out there. I am in no way claiming to represent all people with disabilities. This is my story. The purpose of this video is not to bash, insult, offend, belittle, or criticize anybody. I am only sharing my story. I guess a good starting point to my story would be to share with you, I know some of you already know this by now, that I sustained a spine injury during birth, which resulted in my disability. So I have been disabled throughout my life. I don't think there was ever a time when I wasn't going to church. For as long as I remember, I have always been going to church. I actively gave my life to Christ when I was around 13 or 14. When I was younger, I don't really remember my disability being an issue at all. Nobody focused on it too much. As I grew older, that's when I started noticing that maybe my disability was actually a thing, even in church, because I started noticing that there was some attention that was being given to it. In terms of it certainly showed up in a lot of the conversation that I had with adults at the time. Initially, it just started off as very innocent and well-meaning questions like, do you believe God can heal you? Stuff like that. It wasn't intense. When I was around 10, church was becoming uncomfortable because there was so much emphasis on my getting healed and being able to walk and getting a miracle. Those were certainly conversations that turned up a lot. I remember that there were so many prayer sessions and programs, and like fasting programs and special prayer programs that were set up all in an effort to prepare me to receive my healing and my miracle. And I remember that vividly because there were so many of them. I can't tell you how many healing crusades, healing prayer sessions that I had to attend or go to. There were hundreds of them. People would make it a point that Aaron has to go. It would seem like the healing crusade was solely for me. I was under immense pressure. That's how I felt. Like, Aaron, buckle up, make this happen, because a lot of people are looking at you and a lot of people are focused on what's gonna happen to you. Don't disappoint the people. For a very long time, for many years, that was basically my life. From one prayer session to another. And I don't mean regular prayer sessions as a Christian, like we do have those services and stuff. I mean prayer sessions that were specifically targeted for my healing. There was a lot of those. I also recall that I met a lot of preachers and ministers during that time. Every single one of them wanted to lay hands on me and pray for me for hours on end. Hours and hours and hours. And it would go on forever. I feel like I also have to emphasize this point because this is very, very important. I don't want people to think that I'm ungrateful, that I don't appreciate that a lot of people cared about me and were concerned for me. I do appreciate it, and I understand that their hearts were definitely in the right place. No one can dispute that. But if we are to be really honest here, some of these actions were driven or fueled or caused by the fact that there are a lot of biases, misconceptions, stereotypes, and negative perceptions that people have towards disability. There is a tendency to think that once you have a disability, your value diminishes. I didn't get much about you need to develop your relationship with God, because I got that through regular sermons, but whenever I got a chance, maybe for personal interactions with the people who were my spiritual leaders then, man, it was a business. Like, young man, have you been praying? Have you been asking God for a miracle? Are you ready now? Do you have faith? Oh, and the faith issue. Yeah, that's a story for another day altogether. What was so stressful for me in this issue is that obviously I wasn't getting the miracle. I wasn't walking. I hadn't jumped out of my wheelchair and started walking. It hadn't happened. And when it didn't happen, nobody really took their time to talk to me or make me understand that I may not have received that miracle, but it doesn't mean that my value has depreciated or that it's the end of the world for me. It was more like, you don't have faith. Everything went back to me. It was almost like a blame game. I guess explaining this to someone who has never actually been in that kind of situation may be a little tricky. But trust me, there are some who understand. Guys, I feel like I'm rambling a lot. If you understand where I'm coming from, please let me know. Comment down below. Say something. At least let me know that you get me. I know I'm not the most eloquent person. I don't always know how to fully express myself. So I may not be communicating exactly what I'm trying to communicate. But I just hope someone somewhere will get it. God eventually blessed me with spiritual leaders and pastors who really taught me the proper thing, that I should not put my life on hold waiting for a miracle. For once in my life, it wasn't about looking for a miracle. It wasn't about fasting so I could get healed. It wasn't about learn to pray the proper way so that God can heal you. It was just about develop your relationship with God, which is exactly what I thought being a Christian should be about. Being a light unto the world, nurturing and developing a solid relationship with God. A relationship that is not hinged on wanting something from Him, but that is based on pure love. You love God. God loves you. He's your Father. You have a relationship with Him. So I began to have that understanding, and a huge weight was taken off my shoulders, because I was now finally just a child of God the way I was meant to be. I didn't have to focus so much on getting healed, on doing this and that so that I could receive my miracle. All I had to do was to live my life, enjoy my relationship with God, and aim to grow spiritually. On that note, as Christians, we also need to be very mindful of the way we speak to other people, particularly when things don't happen the way we thought they would happen. Don't to start bashing someone and say you didn't get healed or you didn't receive your miracle because you weren't praying hard enough, you were not prepared enough, your faith, you don't have faith. The faith thing. You don't have faith. You don't have faith. Or you are not living right. People will come up with a lot of theories and a lot of stories about why you didn't receive your miracle. Some of these hateful things and incidences could be avoided if we were honest enough with ourselves and told ourselves the truth that we don't always have all the answers. Yes, we are Christians, but we are not God. We don't know why things are the way they are sometimes. Instead of giving each other unnecessary pressure with all sorts of weird explanations and reasons why someone isn't getting healed, believe me, I have heard it all. I have heard it all. It's okay to just say, you know what? God still loves you. And your life can still be very beautiful and meaningful. Is God capable of healing? Completely. I believe it wholeheartedly. He is God. Nothing is beyond him. All power and might belongs to him. He can do anything he wants to do at any moment. And sometimes the things that we think will happen or the things that we want to happen, that don't necessarily happen when we want them to happen or how we want them to happen, or they don't happen at all. And that's okay. And I think we need to start showing that picture. It's okay. It's okay to be the way you are. It's okay to have a disability and still be fine. God still loves you. You are still enough for your purpose. You may not be perfect in the eyes of the world, but you are perfect for your purpose. Never forget that. If anyone is watching this and you have ever felt inadequate because either you have a disability or a chronic illness, or you just have some thing that the world makes you feel like disqualifies you from reaching your maximum potential, just remember this. You may not be perfect. Yes, we all aren't perfect, but you are always perfect for your purpose. Never forget that. Your life is a gift. Make it count. See you on the next video.